Welcome to your new moon, the first new moon in Virgo we have this year, and your Sun square Uranus angel messages. These are meant for anybody who come across them, but we are going to be going through all 12 signs. And as always, I encourage you to listen to all 12 signs. If you want to know my reasons for that, or if you want to know about the signs in your chart, check out my link below, the Know Your Signs tutorial, totally free, with the free downloadable PDF that explains why it's important to listen to all 12 signs, because you have all 12 signs in your chart. So we're going to be doing that today. We're going to be jumping into this new moon. It is a very powerful new moon in Virgo, but it's one of two. So the first one that we're having is on August 23rd, this Saturday. It will apex at 1:06 a.m. Central Time. Now, that is Central Time, so check to see where you are. And it's going to happen at 0 degrees Virgo because the sun will have just moved into Virgo. Then in September, on the 21st, during a partial solar eclipse, we're going to have another new moon in Virgo at the 29th degree. So we're starting with the very first degree of 0 degrees Virgo, going all the way to 29 degrees of Virgo for another new moon, which will be with an eclipse. Now, there's already eclipse energy in this new moon because we're approaching it, but another really powerful aspect I wanted to mention, you don't need to know anything about astrology, but for those of you who do, you know how important this is, and for those of you who don't, just have it in mind when you're dealing with people around you. The very next day after this new moon, we have Sun square Uranus. Now, the planet Uranus is known for expect the unexpected, innovation. Expect the unexpected is what I'm saying. And so anytime you interact with that planet, you may think something's going to turn out a certain way and it turns out differently. Now, these things are happening for us, but when you have the sun square Uranus, then that can create a little bit of a challenge. It might be that you don't really see why this is happening or what the outcome is going to be, or you think it's going to turn out a certain way and then you have a surprise, right? But these things are happening for us. So I wanted to bring that energy into these messages because I do think it's really powerful for you to understand this is right within that same period of this first new moon in Virgo and kicking off this eclipse season that we have coming up. So really, really powerful energy coming through. And as always, I want to set you up for success so that you can check in with your spiritual team, which is your angels, your passed away loved ones, your higher self, ascended masters, spirit guides, and spirit animals. They're here to support you through this energy. Now, let me know in the comments, how has this energy been feeling for you? Because I've been getting a lot of reports about it feeling off, about it feeling murky, about people feeling really, really tired or having physical things come up, that little tiny accidents and things happening, or things happening physically on their body that they're having to deal with is taking time away from what they want to be doing. We are all feeling these symptoms right now. And so just know that you're not alone in feeling those things. And we are moving through this energy in a way that's going to reveal things to us we didn't know were available to us. And that's what's kind of exciting in a way about it. But I do want to give a shout out to an astrologer that I follow. I've taken a couple of her workshops, Heather Eland with Astrology with Heather. She released a video, it was either today or yesterday, about this new moon as well. And I hadn't even looked at the chart yet, but I was so glad I looked at her, I watched her video, because she talks about there's also a yod happening with this new moon. And I did not see that because I hadn't looked at the chart yet. Once she pointed it out, it was all I could look at. So if you are somebody who's interested in astrology, check out her video. But also, I just want you to know that there's so many things going on with this new moon. It's not just your typical new moon. Now, every new moon is different anyways. And so this new moon that we have in September will also be very different energy in a lot of ways. But keep all those things in mind if you want to be just paying attention to the people around you, the way your moods are fluctuating, the way people's around you's moods are fluctuating. A lot of people are not going to be clear on directions they're going. And a lot of what's happening with this new moon is going to kind of push people in a direction that they might not have expected, right? And so that's why I encourage you to check out my Know Your Signs video below, where it teaches you how to pull your own birth chart for free. It comes a free downloadable PDF, and it shows you how to place the planets on your chart and see, oh, okay, this is where this is affecting me in my life, and it gives you an even deeper understanding. So that's why it's important to listen to all 12 signs. If you don't want to know anything about your astrology, just stay tuned as we go through all 12 signs here. And I am going to be pulling 4 cards for each sign this time because we are have so much energy going on. I wanted to make sure we have a lot of clarification. I'm using the Guardian Angel Tarot deck, the regular Angel Tarot deck, the Life Purpose deck, and the Angel Answers deck. And that's because I feel like what a lot of us think this new moon is going to be bringing for us, we can have an intuitive hit about it. We might dismiss it, or we might be clear on what we're wanting out of it, but what the result is may be surprisingly different. And surprises can be a good thing, but it may take a little time to figure out, why did this happen the way it did, right? All right. So I'd love to hear where you are all tuning in from the comments. Hey, AC, good to see you there. Yeah, I definitely feel like this energy is bringing in some stuff we're not going to expect. So let's jump into these signs. We're going to get started right here with Aries. Aries, the first card you have here is the 9 of Air. The 9 of Air card is really wanting you to release this process of just worry. And actually, I think this is something we're all feeling right now. We're all catching ourselves worrying too much about something. And the idea here is to actually do something about it. With the new moon energy, we can start something new to change this constant cycle of being worried about things. But let's get some clarity here. The next card we have is the renewal card. All right, Aries. So yeah, you're going to be looking at things different. You're going to be taking a new approach to something. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the things that are bothering you, the things that are upsetting you. You're going to say, I'm sick of this being a thorn in my side. I'm sick of waking up in the middle of the night and worrying about this. So I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to go in a new direction. It really says time to move in a new direction is what it literally says. And that's what's going on with this new moon. Now, when a new moon is in Virgo like this, it can feel like you feel every little tiny thing. What's that story, The Princess and the Pea? We will all be feeling the pea that is under the mattress, 9 mattresses down. We are all going to feel every little thing with this new moon, but it's coming up so that you will finally do something about it. So remember that. I always track my moods with the new moon. I always track what's going on for me, if I'm productive, if I'm creative, with whatever moon sign the moon is in. And what I notice with new moon in Virgo is I have to be active about, any moon in Virgo, not even just a new moon, any moon in Virgo. I use that to get organized, to clean, to reorganize, to rethink things, to get add structure to things. Because if I don't do that, then everything feels completely out of bounds and a mess, and it's stressful, and I don't feel well. So I actually will use the energy of whatever sign the moon is in to get things done. And that's where I'll say, okay, for a Virgo new moon, I'm reorganizing that closet, or I'm finally getting all that stuff hauled off I'm going to sit down, I'm going to go through, the photos on my phone and clean that up. I'll use the energy to help me move through it. So I come out on the other end in Libra feeling more balanced, which is kind of the idea. It's kind of a tricky thing for those of you who follow astrology. It's fun. It's like Virgo is giving us the opportunity to see what's not working, where is there too much friction, where is there too much clutter. If we use that energy to clear it out, get it organized, then we get to Libra, we're like, which Libra is an air sign, so you get to breathe a sigh of relief there. So I wanted to mention that because we all have Aries in our sign. This may be something to think about this weekend, is maybe instead of going out and doing a bunch of things, you're staying home and reorganizing office, reorganizing your bedroom, whatever. I mean, redecorating is a good thing to do with this, using feng shui principles, moving energy around. You also have this body work card here. So again, there's a reason that story, The Princess and the Pea, came up. If you are having any aches and pains, Aries, or anybody listening to this, maybe it's time to get a massage this weekend, or maybe it's time to start adding something to your daily routine that will help your body, like an extra stretch, or adding yoga or Pilates or something in there. Maybe it's time to finally go back to doing your physical therapy exercises that you've you've gotten out of the habit of, things like that. And then your final card here, Aries, is ask for help from others. Yeah, so I think you're going to probably want to bring in some type of practitioner here for a massage, for stretching, for doing something for where you're feeling in your body a little off. This is very physical for me. And I think that what it is, Aries, is that you tend to charge ahead and do things in the way that you feel they need to get done, and sometimes at the expense of your physical body, because Mars rules your sign. You charge ahead, you feel strong, and it isn't till later on when things slow down that you start to realize, oh wow, I'm not quite feeling as good as I felt before. Hey Dana, good to see you too. Happy to have you here. So Aries, what can you do this weekend? Noelle's here. Casglow, hello. What can you do here this weekend that can help with your how you feel physically? Maybe you just need to schedule more time for naps, but it does talk about asking for help from others. One thing you can do is ask your spiritual team for help to guide you to the right thing that's going to help you. And I think you're going to see a lot of benefit from that. And you might even be surprised. Like, you might say to yourself, like, fine, I'll try that yoga class, or I'll try that Pilates class, and you go, and then all of a sudden you meet your new best friend there, so that's why I'm talking about the Sun square Uranus. Is there going to be some unexpected surprises happening for you with this energy? It just may be that we have to hold on a little bit and wait to see what the outcome is, because it might be like, whoa, I did not see that come in. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Which, by the way, let's do a pocket affirmation here. I meant to say this at the front. For this Sun square Uranus, let's use the pocket affirmation, I embrace change. If you'll write that in the comment section below, if you feel called to, I embrace change, that would be a really good pocket affirmation to use all the way through the end of eclipse season. So starting now and all the way through, because there are going to be changes for all of us, for all 12 signs. If these messages are resonating with you, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and share this video with anybody you feel it might resonate. And of course, hit subscribe if you haven't already, or follow. All right, so moving on to the Tauruses. Yes, this energy is intense, but we are going to move right through it. We are going to keep our vibration high, and we are going to see what's coming up for the Tauruses here. And we have 7 of Earth. 7 of Earth. 7 of Earth. Whenever I see this card, I think to myself, there is beauty in the moment of this patience, but the card is patience, right? You've planted the seeds, you're letting them grow. And I always think about when I grow my tomatoes every spring. I love growing tomatoes and bell peppers. And when I first start to see those little yellow blossoms on my tomatoes that are going to eventually turn into delicious tomato fruit, I just get so excited, and then they turn into a little tiny green tomato, and that's part of the joy, is watching them grow. So there's something you're watching grow, and it is going to take some patience. It is worth the time and energy you're putting into it, but it's not going to happen overnight, Tauruses. And, a lot of times you're better with that steady pace anyways. You tend to set the bar for that for a lot of people. I really have never in my life been able to rush a Taurus. I'm surrounded by them. So I can tell you from personal experience, you can't rush a Taurus. They have to decide that they want to charge ahead. And let me know in the comments if you agree with that, Tauruses. I'm a Taurus moon. So I can say I've not easily rushed when it comes to deciding how I feel, even though I'm a Cancer sun sign, so I should be all up in my feelings, not necessarily since my moon is in Taurus. So for me, a lot of times it takes me a little longer to get on board with something and decide, okay, I feel good about this. So I can say the same thing for myself. It's like really sitting back and being patient with how you're going to ultimately feel. after this new moon or after these changes that are coming through. But let's keep going here, Tauruses. We also have the Sun card here, which is interesting since we're talking about Sun square Uranus, all right, as part of these messages. But this is really positive because I've been getting these messages for you a lot. You're going to be in the spotlight, Tauruses. The things that you're doing, the things you're working on, they're getting you there. You're going to be on the red carpet, center stage, all right, Tauruses? These are the things coming in for you. Just be patient. I feel like you already know what this thing is that's coming in for you. You've recently learned in the past couple of weeks since, well, let's just say between, the last new moon and now, something has come on board for you that you've said, okay, this is where I'm headed. This is what I want to do. This is starting to work out for me. But then somebody around you or something has happened where it's like, okay, but hold on. We have to get this document signed and we got to get this person on board. Hang on, I dropped this card. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get started on this project. And it's okay. You are going to get started. But again, things are going to look a little differently than you expected. Now we have this life purpose card for you, and it says spiritual teacher, Tauruses. And it says you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. Interesting. Okay. So this is just talking about there's things you're doing for yourself right now to take your game to the next level. Maybe you started adding a daily meditation practice or a daily journaling practice. Maybe you've taken a different approach to your health or to the way you spend your daily routine. Maybe you're doing things during the day differently so they're more enjoyable or they're more nurturing. Keep going with that. That's part of this patience thing and part of what's leading you to be ready to be in the spotlight when we eventually get to this Sun card. And then finally, Tauruses, we have this perfect timing card. Ooh, I just got angel bumps, Taurus. Basically, everything is working out for you in the perfect time. So this card coming up as the card of patience is like, trust me. This is what your team is saying. Your higher self is saying, trust us. Things are coming to bear. You are going to have this big harvest. Just stay patient and enjoy the process. Be in the moment. Do the things you can do right now to raise your vibration. If that's going for a walk, if that's taking a power nap, if that's doing something fun like a puzzle or some painting or something like that. Make sure you're keeping that fun there. When it starts to feel like things are going too slowly, just trust that this is all happening in perfect timing. Okay, Tauruses? So I love that energy. So moving on to the Geminis, let's see what we have for you for this new moon in Virgo and Sun square Uranus. Whoa, you have the World card. You've been getting this a lot for me, Geminis, over this year. Accomplishment, celebration, completion. There's something you've been working towards, and you're finally going to be able to celebrate with this new moon. Now, coming up for another clarification card here, we also have this Knight of Air card, and I do feel some really good news coming in for you, Geminis. It says events happening with great speed. Take time to review your options, which I know you're good at seeing both sides of things. And then we're going to look for creative solutions. So I do feel like you may see some things on the wider world stage, Gemini, that may cause you to worry. So let's say, for example, you're seeing a news headline about the economy or about things that are going on with AI, and all of a sudden you're worrying about your job, right? And instead of doing it that way, you want to look at it from a different perspective and say, what skill can I add or what thing can I do to keep me, in the market and keep me edgy? Now, it doesn't have to have anything to do with career. If you're retired, this could have to do with legacy. It could have to do with family or relationships or even your physical health, Geminis. But there is something that you're being asked to find a creative solution to. And I feel like with this new moon and this Sun square Uranus energy, you may get some news that feels a little shocking, but there is a creative solution that's going to create that win-win scenario, Gemini. So it's going to ultimately be positive. Now, for your life purpose card, we have the study card. What was I just saying about making sure you are taking your skills to the next level? Maybe it is time to start spending some time learning more about AI or how AI could help you in your daily work or in your creative projects. There's a lot of people who are really afraid of AI, but the truth of the matter is it's not going anywhere. So how can you advance your skills so that you can protect yourself And then we have a wait card. So yeah, there is something that you're feeling like you need to jump and take action on, but there's going to be more information coming through that's going to help you get to the next level more quickly. So basically, you're going to want to hold steady just like the Tauruses. Trust that the seeds have been planted. And when new information comes in, try not to react. Instead, sleep on it and see if you can respond in a grounded way and not get caught up in this Knight of Air card. You know, what I think about with this Knight of Air card is what my good friend Chris Reck from Minnow Pond Tarot talks about, where it can kind of be a little bit like, impulsive information, like people are blowing something out of proportion and they're saying, you know, oh my gosh, you know, the sky is falling, or, you know, everybody in this industry is not going to have a job by next year. Have you seen those videos, guys, where they're like, in 2 years, these jobs are going to be completely obsolete? And I just feel like that scaremongering is not helping anybody. So if you're browsing online and you see that and you feel fear, this is your invitation to go learn something that will help you feel like you're a little ahead of the game, find out what you can of it, and try to respond instead of react. So I think that's really important to keep in mind, is just have that patience, just like we did for Tauruses. That's been a big key word coming up for all of us lately, is the word patience. All right. Moving on to Cancers. All righty. So we're moving into the Cancers here. And for the new moon energy in Virgo, again, quick reminder, please listen to all 12 signs. You have all 12 signs in your chart. So if something doesn't resonate with you, leave it behind. But, you know, you may not have any plants in Cancer, but there could still be a message for you around that area of your chart in whatever house you have Cancer. So just listen and see what really resonates with you. All right, so the first card we're getting for Cancers is this Five of Earth card. Five of Earth card, it says lack, worry, and assistance. And this is a reminder to, when you feel stuck, especially when it comes to material resources, go higher. Ask your spiritual team for help. Go look for those creative solutions that Gemini was asking for, okay? That's another thing to remember, is we can pull these creative solutions down through our spiritual team. We can ask for loud and clear signs. So you are being asked to go higher with anything that is currently making you feel stuck or restricted, or like things aren't actually moving forward. Now, the next message we have for the Cancers is the Justice card. Yep. I had a feeling this was coming up. There's some kind of decision you're weighing. Maybe you have also been having some sleepless nights, waking up worrying about things. And it says, you know, you've got to ultimately do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. You're going to have to probably make a decision. You may feel like there is, where you're putting your time and energy is, it's not benefiting, and you may need to let go of something so that you can get out of this feeling of feeling stuck, especially around your material resources. So it could be that you need to cut back on some kind of expense. It could be that you need to cut back on how much time you're spending doing something. It's taking you away from another project. I know for me personally, as a Cancer sun sign, this is having to focus my resources on finishing some projects, right? I have some things I want to finish doing before I start something new. And I'll admit, I feel a little stuck because I really want to get started on something new. But I've realized that until I finish these other projects, I'm not going to be able to give it my full focus. So I'm going to hit the pause button on some of those new things. I'm going to cut back on some areas where I feel like I'm not getting a good investment in my time and energy. And then I will see after the Sun square Uranus what comes up for me. Now, for the life purpose card for Cancer, we have the Books card. The Books card, you connect your life purpose through your involvement with books. Are you writing a book, Cancer? Are you wanting more time to sit and read? Is there something that you have already on your bookshelf that you keep putting off reading? Or maybe you started reading it and then you got busy with other things, and it's like, okay, go back to that. See if you can make time for that, especially this weekend and through this Sun square Uranus. And it could also be that whatever change is coming through for you, Cancers, with this eclipse season, that you already have the solution in one of your books on your bookshelf, or the solution is to get started on that book or finish that book or whatever that is for you. But there is something big there coming through for the Cancers. And then your final card here is the No card. The No card. Okay, so what have you been worried is going to happen with this new moon energy? What have you been worried an outcome might be? And it's saying, no, you're not, it's not going to be what you think. That's what I'm getting for you, Cancers. There's something you're saying, all right, I'm going to have to put my foot down. I'm going to have to say no to something, but it's going to help me move forward ultimately down the road. And it is going to look a lot different. So even though a new moon tends to be an energy where you start things, I feel like for this new moon, it's going to be, for a lot of us, just putting our foot down and saying no to something. Okay, so does that anything come to mind for you, Cancers, or anybody listening now? When it comes to your relationships, that could be romantic, family, children, parents, boss, your health and fitness, or even your career and finance, which could also be legacy if you're retired. Is there something you just need to say no to so that you don't feel stuck in this 5 of Earth energy anymore, doing what you know is right? And then spend some time going through your books or working on your book and allow things to just pick back up again after you've said no, because it feels like there's some kind of energy that you're needing to just block out for a little while there. All right, moving on to the Leos. All right, lovely Leos. Leos, for this new moon and Sun square Uranus messages, we have the 10 of water. 10 of water. I hope you've had an amazing birthday season celebrating with loved ones and family. That's what's going on right here. If you haven't done enough of that, keep going. This is a card of celebration and love and blessings. So big blessings coming in for you, Leos. This is a really, really great energy. The next card we have coming up for Leos is 5 of fire. Interesting. You're a fire sign there, Leo. It says competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Yeah, we're all kind of going to have this energy of, all right, where do I put my time and attention? You may have people around you saying, hey, look at me, come over here and help me do this. And you're saying, no, I need to go do this for myself first. Maybe you are working on a creative project with somebody and you aren't seeing eye to eye. That's okay. We just need to get clear on everybody's motives. And if you are seeing conflict come up with others, just try to take that quiet time alone to get grounded and reconnect with the things that make you feel nurtured. So the example would be removing yourself from an environment where you don't feel at home, you don't feel surrounded by loved ones, and putting yourself in that environment so that you can get clear on what you really want and reviewing everybody's motives in that situation. Your life purpose card, Leos, is the Justice card, just like Cancer's got. There is some decision you need to make around fairness, protection, or there may be somebody else that is needing your support and your help, and they need you to stand up for them. So if anybody just popped in your mind, this is something that you could really be there for someone else right now, Leos, supporting them. So I would think about that too. If maybe you were wondering if you're meant to be doing something that's helping others, here's your sign that yes, you are. And then we have this Angel Answers card that says let go. So you're being asked to surrender to some kind of fallout or outcome that occurs with this eclipse energy. So when you have this Justice card here and you have the let go card, it feels like there's something you're going to have to just deal with, because it says bothersome details. And if you just surrender to the outcome, it's all going to work out just fine. Like maybe you're having to just do extra paperwork or go get some type of test done or go to an extra appointment for something that you didn't really want to have to do. And it is causing this conflict. Like, well, I really wanted that time for myself, or I really didn't want to have to make that drive. These are things that it's important you surrender to where you're being taken by your spiritual team, by your higher self, and just trust that you're being guided. And I feel like that's what's going to happen is some big change that comes in for all of us is going to require us to let go of the need to control the outcome, or let go of the fact that, hey, it's kind of like the example of maybe you booked a trip and something came up, you couldn't make it, and you couldn't get a refund on the hotel or something, where it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. Are you going to sit there and stew about it, or are you going to let it go? Because what happened was out of your control, and you're just going to have to go with the flow there. So that's what I'm feeling. And I feel like if you will just try to surrender to divine flow and use that. That's my favorite pocket affirmation, by the way. If you want to write that below, I am in divine flow. Use that. All of us can use that throughout this new moon and eclipse season, especially when we're feeling things with the Sun square Uranus card there. All right. Good to see. Yes, AC was saying the last cards have been on point. Body work, learning, books. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm just as bad about forgetting that I get a book. I got to get a book I get really into. I get busy, put it on my shelf, and then I'm like, oh man, I need to get back to that. So I feel like that's definitely a message for me too. Thank you, AC. All right, we're moving on to, let's see. I did have Leo sign up, didn't I? Did I have Leo sign up, or did I forget to do Leo's sign? If I forgot your sign, Leo, I apologize. I may have, actually. All right, but we're moving on to the Virgos. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you there. Yes, the cranky energy has been real for a lot of people in my world. I've even had to say, you know what I say? I'll say, angels, please help me raise my vibration when I'm like, something's off. I can't put my finger on why I'm feeling this way right now. So angels, please help me raise my vibration. There's one of my favorite Virgos there. Hello, Noelle. About to be your birthday season. All right, Virgos, for this first new moon in Virgo, you get 2 new moons for your birthday season, Virgos, and Sun square Uranus. You have the 7 of Fire card. Now, I love this card because it shows this person is on higher ground. And it says challenge, determination, and resistance. But the truth of the matter is, the person can see these different challenges. They can see it clearly. They've got a higher perspective than the people down here. So this is actually a really positive card saying you are strong enough to stand up for what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. So some kind of thing that you're having to deal with around this new moon, remember that you have the higher perspective and you can go even higher. Your next card is the 6 of Fire, so another fiery energy card. It says victory, good news is on its way, public recognition or awards. So yeah, you are getting recognition for your creativity, for being an expert in something. People see the fiery energy that you're bringing to something. You're so creative. You're so good at seeing things from a different perspective, and you are going to be rewarded for this. People are going to be celebrating you throughout your birthday season. It is just going to require you standing your ground there. And then for your life purpose card, we have travel. Yes, you're going to be taking a trip, Virgos. I've been getting this for Virgos for the last month. I said, are you planning something for your birthday season? I got that for Libras too, by the way, Libras, if you're already here listening. Hey, Linda, good to see you there. But yeah, we definitely think about something where you might be able to take a little trip for your birthday. It might be that you are asked to travel for work. And remember, travel can also be in dream time. You might be doing a lot of astral travel right now, Virgos, and trust those things. Make sure you're tracking your dreams. If you don't already, definitely keep your journal by your bedside. Make sure you are writing down your dreams the second you wake up so you don't forget them. My dreams have been so vivid to the point that I'm just like, I don't even have time to write all these down. But that's why I just summarize them. So you might be doing a lot of travel during dream time, but I do think for a lot of Virgos, you're going to be having this opportunity to celebrate your birthday or do some traveling that's going to give you that higher perspective that this person with the 7 of Fire has. Okay. And that's always a great thing about travel, is gaining a new perspective, right? Alrighty, moving on to the Libras. All right, Libras, for this new moon, you have the Six of Air card. I like it. I like it. This means that you are moving on to calmer shores. It says relief, hope, moving on. Yeah. Things are going to get easier. Things are going to slow down. You're going to start to feel like things are a little more in balance. You also have this High Priestess card, but you are going to be asked to really trust your intuition, okay? Especially with the energy of this new moon, the Sun square Uranus. If you're joining me late, I mentioned the yod that is going on with this new moon. And so you are going to be asked more than ever to listen to your intuition. And I have a lot of Libras in my life, and I know you guys tend to want to go with a very logical approach because you're good at seeing both sides. You want the fair and balanced approach. You want to see if you can create win-win scenarios if possible, but just listen to your intuition when it comes to the changes that are coming up for you with this new moon. And your life purpose card here is the trust card. Yep, trusting your intuition. It says, trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. I think some of you are going to get some new job offers. I do think you may also see some new relationships coming into your life, and you're going to want to really listen to your intuition. Just because the job offer or the person checks all the boxes doesn't mean that they're the right person for you. You are going to be asked to listen to your gut, trust your intuition, and then your angel answers card here is the yes card. Yes, you can take these opportunities coming in for you with confidence if you are trusting your intuition and trusting your higher self to guide you to these things. So I definitely feel an offer coming in for Libras. Now, again, you can check your chart and see where you have Libra in your chart. For me, as a Capricorn rising, it's in my 10th house of career. So this might mean I have a new opportunity coming up with work around this new moon, right? So that's why I encourage you to check out my video, Know Your Signs Below, with the free downloadable PDF, so you can see how all 12 signs are affecting your chart. All right, that's so exciting. You have to let me know what you do. Are you going to take this new job offer, Libras? Are you going to start this new relationship? And of course, this could be any kind of relationship. If you're not looking for love, you're not looking for anything big, it could be, you know, a new neighbor that you start having coffee with once a week and enjoy each other's company. All right, Scorpios. Scorpios, for this new moon energy, we have the Lovers card. I love this for you guys. Relationships, emotions, and choices. Yeah, there is something where you may be making a decision around a relationship. It could be a relationship to a project. And I am feeling that, you know, you have felt a little stuck with something creatively. You've also felt like some of the relationships in your life should be moving on to a new level, to either a more intimate level or to a more engaged level or a more committed level, because this may not be romantic for all of you. This could be colleagues. This could be friendships. It feels like there's something that you're saying, why hasn't this gone further yet? We're going to get some clarification for you here, Scorpio, but it feels like also, maybe there's a part of you that hasn't fully committed either. So let's see what we have here for the Angel Tarot deck. We have the Ego card. Yeah, it says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Yeah, maybe it's just it's possible that this other person is, you know, their ego is deceiving them about something, like they're not letting down their guard with you. It could be that maybe they don't feel worthy, or maybe you're somehow allowing them to have more power in the relationship. There's not a really equal balance of power, if that makes sense. So look out for those kind of red flags around ego being involved. And it doesn't necessarily mean that either person, I'm not saying this in a negative thing like egotistical. Sometimes it's more that the person doesn't feel deserving. So I want you to observe that as well. Like, are you feeling worthy of these relationships? Are you feeling worthy of that? Because it could be that you need to really own your worth, Scorpios. And then for your life purpose card here, we have the Let Go card. Yeah, I do feel like there's somebody from your past that, it's coming back up, the way you were treated or things you said or could have said or you wish you would have said. And it says walk away from the situation in order to receive it. It feels like there needs to be some more clearing done around this. And, right now at the time I'm recording these messages, it's before the new moon, which means we're still in the energy of that full moon in Aquarius. You may need to do a little extra releasing around this relationship, a little extra healing so that you do feel worthy of these new relationships coming in. And like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a colleague, where maybe in the past you tried to partner with somebody, you tried to work on something with somebody, and they kept taking all the power. You gave too much power away to this person, and you need to heal that and feel worthy. And then your angel answered card is, it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you. So if you have an ex coming back from the past, your spiritual team is not going to tell you what to do, right? And whenever I get this card, I'm just going to flat out tell you, I don't like this card. Okay. To me, this card, for me personally, I would call this card a no, but our spiritual team is not going to tell us what to do. They're going to allow us to learn. So one time I pulled this card when I was getting ready to start a small business venture with a couple of people, and I wasn't really sure I wanted to put my time and energy into it, but I really liked the people, and they were so excited about it, and they were so engaged, and they were so motivated that I went ahead and I said, I got this card. I asked my team, is it in my highest interest to do this? I got it. I got this card and I sat with it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And it ended up being that I did probably 85% of the work. It pulled me off my own purpose and it just ended up fizzling out. And that's fine. I learned from it. I actually gained some skills in the meantime. But I definitely look back on that as, but I probably could have learned those lessons in a different way where I didn't get pulled so far off my path. Okay, so you'll know what that means for you. Alrighty, moving on to the Sages. Oop, no, I want to skip the Sag. Sagittarius. Alrighty, Sagittarius, for this new moon, your first card is the Three of Air. The Three of Air. So there's something that you're still trying to get over. It's okay. Take your time. Some kind of heartbreak, some kind of letdown from your past. I just got a tingle in my left calf, letting me know this from my spiritual team that lets me know if this is somebody that was really important to you, was also hurt by this. And you've been trying to protect this person, but you're also hurt. You've been hurt. And so there's still a lot of healing going on, Sages, and that's okay. Take your time with this healing. You really, really got to keep going. And the thing is, we all tend to get really busy sometimes. And what I will often see Sages do is run around being there for everybody else, being the fun one, being the life of the party. And they're not taking that time to do their own inner healing. It's kind of like, have you ever seen where like a mom, I used to do this with my kids, if their kid is learning to walk, is running and falls down and hurts themselves and the mom goes, ta-da, to kind of like distract them from crying. That's what I feel like Sages will do sometimes for others. Like, oh, don't look over here. Don't cry. It's fine. Well, are you doing that with yourself, Sages? Okay, I want you to really ask yourself that because it might be time to take a new approach to your healing. And then, hello, Clarice. Good to see you. We have the Seven of Earth card too. So you got this card and so did Taurus's. There is something that, is again, there's a seed there. It's growing. It needs a little more attention. It needs a little more nurturing. I'm feeling a little bit of a different energy coming through for Sagittarius than I did for Taurus's with this card. It feels like you planted these seeds a long time ago, but now the tree has really grown and it needs a little trimming. I feel like this tree needs some extra nurturing because you've allowed it to grow, and now it's time to start doing something with these skills, with these things you've invested in. So, I always say, listen, think about those 3 things in your 3 areas of your life: your health and fitness, your career and finance. If you're retired, that would be legacy, and your relationships, not just romantic, parent, children, friends, boss, whatever, colleagues, something around that. Now, your life purpose card is teaching. That doesn't surprise me at all, Sagittarius. Teaching. You are here to help others. You inspire young people to learn. Now, this could be young in their experience, right? The person could be in their 70s, but they're new to the thing you're teaching and you're inspiring them, okay? So think of it from that perspective. And then your angel answers card, Sagittarius, is don't stop. Yeah, this is having to do with this tree. And I've been getting these messages for you all year, Sages. There is a need for you to really focus on where you're going with your work and your career that allows you to shine in a bigger way. And I feel like you really got burned in the past, Sages, by trying to help others and really trying to invest your heart into something. But it's okay to heal and then continue to move in the direction of the seeds you've already planted. Continue to focus on that. And maybe it's something you're teaching, like you're teaching others how to do something differently because of what you learned from the heartbreak. And I think that is what a lot of you are out there doing, is you're saying, hey, we're going to go over here and we're going to do it this way. Because when I tried it this other person's way, is stung. I didn't like it. It didn't work out, So now we're going to try it a different way. And you're here teaching others and helping them grow as well. So I love it for the Sages. Even if you're retired, this is mentorship, right? It's anything that inspires you to teach others to do. All right, now we're at the Capricorns, my Capricorn rising. All right, Cap rising, we have for your new moon, the Wheel card. Goodness, I've gotten this card a lot for Capricorns. It says luck, progress, and change. Well, that's for sure. Capricorns are definitely going to be feeling this change in a big way. All of us are. But big changes coming for Capricorns, especially with this Sun square Uranus. So let's keep going here. We also have the 9 of Earth card. It says enjoying life's little luxuries. It says spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Yeah, so there's something around being able to enjoy life differently, Capricorns. I feel like you're going to be affected a lot in your daily routines, your daily work life. And that's not just from an astrology perspective. That comes from pulling the intuitive messages I'm getting off this card. But if you want to get down to the details, Uranus is in your 6th house. Changes are happening in your daily work, your daily routine, and the sun's going to square it. So you may be really surprised at the changes that come up for you with your health, your career, your daily work, and all those things. So you're going to want to really focus on life's little luxuries and spending that quiet time alone to really embrace that change. Your life purpose card here is career change. What did I just say? I love doing this so much. It's so much fun. Yeah, so you're having some kind of change in your career, Capricorns. It's coming in big time, and so you might as well embrace it. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. I love that, Capricorn. So again, life's little luxuries. You need to really spend some quiet time alone with this new moon and get clear on the things you really love doing. And then your final angel answers card is trust. Trust the process. Trust things are happening for you. Trust that these big changes coming in with the Sun square Uranus, with the eclipses coming up in September, they are happening for you. And this goes for all 12 signs, not just for Capricorns. So if all you need to do is take a screenshot of just this card, keep it on your phone, trust the process. These things are happening for us. It just may be a little surprising. Casglow was feeling the Sag reading with your moon. Yep, I hear you on that one. All right, so now we have I got to switch signs to the Aquas. Aquarius, your first card is this Awakening card. This would be the Hangman in tarot. It says pause, perspective, and selflessness. Yeah, I feel like you are in a place of contemplation right now, Aquarius. I feel like you've been through a lot this year. A lot of you have gone through some really big relationship changes. Some of you have gotten married, you've moved in with somebody, you've left behind some kind of long-term partnership. Maybe it was in business, maybe it was you moved and your longtime neighbor you're not seeing every day, but some kind of big change for Aquarius coming through, and it's causing you to pause and think about what your next steps are. And I think that's a really good thing, to slow down right now, Aquarius. I mean, that full moon was tough on everybody I know. I saw so many people suddenly ending things, and you may have felt the need to do that as well. And then we have the Wheel card. We got that for Capricorns too. So things are moving forward. It is a time of positive change. It says fortune is on your side. So just again, it's trusting that process. Trust that these changes are happening. The wheel is turning. It's turning for you. But there might be some surprises. It might be a surprise ending to something. It might be a surprise piece of information that comes through. And your life purpose card here is children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. Well, I mean, you might have a surprise pregnancy in the family. You never know. But it could also just, again, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't mean actual children, just people who are new to something and you're teaching them. So this could be like, somebody who's 65 years old and they decide they want to learn astrology and they're asking you to teach them, right? So they're just young to the topic, right? And then your angel answers card is listen to your intuition. All right. Listen to your intuition. This is really important to keep in mind for all of us right now. We are all learning to use our intuition differently. The way you've always used it, keep using it, but you're also adding new skills to your intuitive ability. So definitely be paying attention to new ways you're getting messages. The example is like maybe you always just get a feeling about something and then all of a sudden now you're getting messages through repeating numbers, which by the way, I do have tons of videos about angel numbers on my channel if you want to learn more about that, if you're seeing a lot of repeating numbers. Okay, moving on to the Pisces. Pisces, you have the Dreamer card. There's something new you're starting with this new moon. Are you launching a podcast? Are you launching a course? Are you launching maybe you're doing a new project for work? There's something new. Maybe you are changing what you're actually doing for work, but this is something brand new. I do think for Pisces, what's really new is your approach to the way you handle your free time, to the way you handle time with your family. So this is pretty exciting for the Pisces. I feel like you're ultimately going to be excited about the new things coming into your life. Now, for some Pisces, this is actually relationships. Like you have a new relationship coming in. This could be a new boss, new neighbor, new best friend. Some of you, it's a new romantic partner. But you've been getting messages all year long to get out there in a bigger way, Pisces, and start meeting new people. So I feel lots of new things coming in for you, Pisces. You also have the Chariot card. Yeah, it has something to do with travel too. I feel like maybe some of you are traveling and that's how you're going to meet these new people. Or maybe you're going somewhere new that you've never gone before. Or maybe even this is how you meet this new person coming into your life, is you take a trip and that's how you meet someone new. Or maybe a new friend that you've recently made is traveling with you and they introduce you to somebody. And then we have this life purpose card here. We have this life purpose card. Says heart's desires. Yeah, what is it? Something that you're wishing for, Pisces? This is something you're wishing for that's coming in for you. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise. Hey, Mary, good to see you there. And so there is going to be some surprises coming in with this new beginning, okay? It could be a new colleague that really helps you take your projects to the next level. It could be a new promotion that you didn't see coming and now you're working with a new group of people, or you're traveling more for work, okay? Something definitely getting a lot around traveling for Pisces. I feel like I can feel some of you cringing going, no, I don't want to travel, but it's something good for you coming in for a lot of the Pisces. And then we have within the next few months. Yep, you have travel scheduled for the next few months. And if you don't, you're probably going to. All right. So let me know where you're going, Pisces. I'd love to hear all that. So let's pull this all together. for some actions to take. Now, I want to let you know I am going to go over and answer some questions on a different platform. Let's just call it the platform with the music note. I'm on there now, but I'm going to stay on and answer questions there for a little bit. So if you want to join me over there, you're welcome to, but I wanted to pull some action cards and remind you that if these messages resonate with you, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that like button, share this video with anybody you feel like it resonate with, and of course, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And please do remember that you can sign up for my free newsletter and get my ebook, Is It a Sign? And be notified whenever I have these lives or these videos coming on for you and some other surprises I have in the works. All right, let's do some action cards here. What's the first action to take? Right now, at the time that you're hearing these messages, what is the first action to take? Ooh, we have this Justice card. So this came up for some of us in the signs, but it's coming up for all of us. There is some kind of decision we need to make with this new moon, and it's a decision to take action, all right? You want to go ahead and take action on something. I'll give you the example that I pulled for Cancer was you're going to have to take the action of saying no to something. Or was that Capricorn? I was thinking about whichever one it was, about where they got the no card. But this could be the decision to say, fine, I'm going to finally sign up for that gym and start taking those Pilates classes. I'm going to finally hire a health coach. I'm going to finally change doctors and get some answers. I'm going to finally ask my boss for that raise or what's ahead for me, right? Your next action card here is the 10 of Earth card. So we are focusing on the long term. We're saving for a rainy day. We're working hard towards our goals. You want to do the things that are going to help you feel secure, okay? In your material world especially. So if you're not feeling comfortable in your home environment, if you're not feeling comfortable with your financial resources, what are things you can start with this new moon to bring in that security? So we're all being asked to invest in our future to create that financial security. And one more action before I go to the Q&A, we have Page of Air. Page of Air. It says truthful, analytical, outspoken. All right, so it may be time to speak up. You know, it may be time to just say, I'm not going to do this anymore, or I need this information before I can go further. I do think that we're going to come out of this new moon, Sun square Uranus this weekend with information we didn't see coming, and maybe even options we didn't see coming. And you are going to want to get clear. Oh, I left the Pisces sign on. Sorry, Pisces. You're probably going, how long is this reading? You are going to want to make sure that you have all the information before you do this justice energy here. Okay. So if you can ask for time before you make a decision, like somebody's asking you like, hey, you've got the job, but I need you to agree right away, because you're going to have to move and I need to get moving expenses approved and I need to blah, blah, blah. And you're going, whoa. Hey, I have to move? Where do I have to move? And, get all the information before you get too committed to something. And that's for all 12 signs. That wasn't just for Pisces. That was just our Q&A. I'm sorry, our actions. Now I'm going to switch over to the Q&A over on the platform that has the music note. Thank you all for being here. I will see you next week on my live, and I'm wishing you a very happy new moon. Let me know what happens for you guys. We're going to keep in tune for this energy with Sun square Uranus. All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.